Before the hip became hop, there was this young man in New York going through all of the boroughs of New York with his records, albums, and speakers and turntables. With his equipment, this is what he needed to take his life to another level. His skills, his gifts, everything came into play. You know, in order to flow on the mic, you need some sounds for the background. You need beats to make the flow complete. You need that cymbal, that drum. Boom, tick, tap, boom, pop, boom, tick, tap, boom, pop, boom. Records and albums come into play. In the groove, there is a break. The bongo rock, the Apache beats can destroy the dance floor with the b-boy breakdancing, spinning his legs, going crazy, spinning those legs everywhere like they just don't care. In New York, this guy and his records, his albums, and his turntables and speakers was going through all of the boroughs doing this thing. He was called DST, which is Delancey Street. But then with his gifts and his magic and his know-how, he went to another level. Ladies and gentlemen, turntable is supreme, the uncut grand mixer, DXT. How you doing, my brother?
What's good, man? I'm good.
Man, I'm trying to maintain. D, this is the year of 2024, and I believe last year, 2023, was the anniversary, the 50 years of hip-hop. 50 years. In my opinion, I think it's a little bit longer than that. But to all, let me say this though, to everybody I know, all the young people, all the college people, DU, Boulder, CU, Lakewood College, any young person that I talk to, no matter who you are, where you are, you come up in your time. A lot of you were born after 94 and especially after 2004, which makes you what? 18, 19 years old in this year 2024. Well, you came up in a culture. Well, let me tell you something. You have to, when you are listening, know what you listen to, and there's a foundation from what you listen to. This is one of the people. You talk about what he does with a record, an album, a 33, an LP, their turntable. This is DXT, a grand mixer. D, let me ask you a question, brother. The state of hip-hop, rap, in your opinion, give me, how do you feel being a pioneer? Where are you? Where is rap at nowadays? In this year, 2024, with all the accolades, everything going down, Hollywood Walk of Fame, everything, where are we at in this thing called rap hip hop?
It's interesting because you use several different names for it: hip hop, rap. You know, and it as far as the word rap, it's gotten a bad rap. So we are no longer practicing the cultural aspect
Go ahead,
of
brother. Go ahead.
what occurred in the 70s. This is it appears to be some sort of socially engineered psyop that the young people are unaware that they're participating in.
Go ahead.
And the guise of wealth is what's fueling this, and the fear of not being able to socially connect to each other because of the lack of interaction through the technology. Most young men stay indoors playing video games and things like that. So the human connection has been lessened by this idea of the individual, spending most of their time alone or with one other person and not developing social skills. And so it appears to be a contrived system that has now permeated through the country through this genre of music.
Are we still keeping it street?
No, we're now keeping it prison.
Go ahead.
And cemetery.
Go ahead.
And so, we have to, those of us who are in the know or mature enough and man enough and woman enough,
go ahead,
to step back and say, this is not culture. This is a culture, but it's a death culture, and a culture with no moral responsibility to its youth is not a culture at all, actually. And so at this time, you know, we need to find the men first, to step up and say, it is my responsibility. If something is impacting my community negatively, it affects all of us. And that's what a culture is supposed to do. It's supposed to be the immune system within the social construct that you are functioning in. And if it's not functioning as an immune system, it should be discarded. And so what we've been experiencing for the last 20 years now, absolutely should be discarded. It is not hip hop. We're calling it that, but we're not looking at what it actually is, because we're looking at the trinkets and the rewards for perpetrating this insanity in our own communities.
But Grand Mixer, let me ask you a question. It was once upon a time, it was street. I mean, it was from the living room, from the basement, from the house parties. But then when it got corporate, like everything else, every musical genre, when it gets corporate, somebody else takes over the steering wheel, and the person that got it going, the person that was in the basement, in the grind, they're no longer behind the wheel. Somebody else is driving, and if the person thinks they're driving the wheel, it's a steering wheel of illusion.
Yeah, it's even deeper than that. This has been a well laid out agenda, uh, starting with the removal of the instruments in the melanated
Go
communities in
ahead,
the
D. Go
schools.
ahead. Go ahead.
And
Go ahead.
even as a turntablist, I'm actually a
Hold on,
drummer.
brother. Hold on. Let me. No, okay. You did it to me again, boy. Boy. Lamar Webster, Dr. Doug, R&B Ramsey. Now Grand Mixer DXT's blowing the mind of the cold funk of the funk prophet. Man, you saying some deep stuff. You said when they took away the instruments.
Right.
Preach.
They removed the instruments from the schools and our communities, and so being that we are naturally creative,
Mm.
um, here we are using turntables as instruments and using our voices to play beats and rapping and all of this stuff.
Okay, so
And,
let me ask you a question, Supreme, the Grand Mixer Supreme, if you will, DXT. When it comes to instruments, when it comes to the beginning of rap, before it became hip hop, what were the main instruments in the rap game?
well, most people, compartmentalize the technology, how the technology was applied.
Well,
But
I said it from the beginning. To make a long story short, I said it was the drums and the bongo rock Apache.
right. So this is a this is an expression that, one, first of all, it's not new. Um, in our time, we've given it the names that we call it now, but these are ancient cultural expressions. We are having an epigenetic experience, and the powers that be are very much aware of that. And this is why it's been steered, because we're going to do what we're doing regardless. But someone came to the great idea that this is an easy way to steer these young people into doing what we need them to do, which now we discover now that the record industry, most of the executives all have stock in the private prisons.
Mm,
and
mm,
and so
mm,
this was by design,
mm.
to create criminality through the music, through young people coming up thinking that's it, that's what we do, that's the culture, and look at his watch, look at his car, and all of that.
Bling,
Meanwhile,
bling, bling, bling.
yeah, and the degradation of the social construct starts to decrease. It starts to fall apart, and now we're at the point where it's very difficult now for these young people to come together and gather without some sort of tragic ending because of the lack of social skills and the inability for people to exchange information and be amongst each other without the fear. And the fear is what drives the violence. It ain't, these guys are not tough.
Mm.
They're terrified.
Mm.
And so, we grew up where, you had to get punched in the face. You got punched in the face, and it's a fight, but you don't kill your neighbor.
Go ahead now. Come on.
You
Come
don't
on. Come on.
kill somebody in your neighborhood over something that can be resolved with a conversation, or if it's a fist fight, generally we have it, shake hands, and it's back to normal.
That's
Now
right.
it's
Murder. It's
absolute,
murder.
yes, total devastation to the community. Our communities have been decimated by the people in the community. And it's through our interaction in this social construct that is designed to do what it does to us. And our belief system and orientation into this social construct says that we are progressing. When we look at this one guy making a whole bunch of money playing basketball, these are false symbols of progress, and no one ever said that progress is a constant. And so we have thought we have made progress, but we are in very bad shape now with these young people in the condition that they are psychologically.
You know what's so deep, man? Oh, everybody, again, welcome to the Funk Lounge Talk Theater. Conversations in its purest form. My special guest here is my brother, my cousin, who I was a kid with. Me and this dude came up together in the living room. We got stories. This is my twin. The only difference between me and him is a Grammy. Okay. Other than that, this is my dude, man, and we are Bibles on what we're talking about. We're nothing that we read. We were actually there. We were there. You know what? People have a habit of coming into our culture, and taking away our native tongue. Okay, they take away our native tongue, and then it gets twisted, and then to somebody else, it's somebody else's reality when that has nothing to do with us. Black people, the indigenous Negroes, live in Halloween year after year, and it has nothing to do with the costume, okay? We are on Halloween trick or treat year round. We are a walking costume. We are a damn joke. When I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, and when I see the outcome of that dirty South shit, when they have metal detectors in malls, when they're closing down places, down in Miami, Florida, when we're causing havoc down there, I mean, the elimination, they don't need us no more. We're slowly being eliminated, and we are eliminating ourselves. And Grand Mixer DXT comes up with good terms. He called it a hip-hop cause, like the Holocaust. He called it, what you call it, a hippocaust?
No, I mean it's a Holocaust, but it's a hip hop Holocaust,
Yeah, yeah.
because it's under the guise of that narrative.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
And so, here we are, in a reset mode, and it becomes apparent that, we don't recognize this social construct and how it's designed to steer us to where we are today.
You know what? I thought white people and their rock and roll wasn't going to have a problem. But white people have problems too, because like people in Nashville, Tennessee, country music, white people like who love country music, they don't have country music no more. Taylor Swift changed all that. I mean, Taylor Swift took away country and made it something else. She started off as being country. So it's like when you have a native music, they'll put someone in there to tamper with it and make it go a whole nother direction.
Yeah, well, I mean, country music is originally from melanated people. Even the banjo was created by a melanated person.
Right.
And so, I mean, basically, most of those expressions, be it rock and roll, any of it, you name it, and it starts with us.
Always.
And it is shared and then appropriated. And that's the issue. It's shared, and then all of a sudden you can't get your songs played on that radio station because you're colored.
Yeah, but
Man.
what we have to stop doing as a people, we have to stop blaming white people for every damn thing. Okay, I find out that we got nigger problems. Okay, it's
Oh,
in
that's
house.
absolutely.
Okay, I don't care about no white person, no Jewish person, or anybody else. I'm worried about us right now. We got problems in the black house.
Well, what I'm saying is these, like I said, this is about us
Yeah,
not doing what we need to
you
do.
got that right. You
All of our issues is based on us
in
not
house.
doing what we need to do.
Amen.
Once you recognize what the problem is,
Right.
you're supposed to come together and deal with it.
Right.
But if you start participating in what the problem is as part of the problem, then there's no community.
No solution.
And that's what I said. The culture
Mm.
is supposed to function as the immune system within the social construct that you are functioning in.
And young people, what this scientist, Grand Mixer, DXT is talking about, he's talking about the elements of rap, on why rap became to be. And this man is from the Bronx. He's from where it started, okay? And let me tell you the reason why rap came to be. Let me teach y'all. This is school time, school session. We're talking about the black spades or the gang members. What happened? They put down the gun and picked up the microphone. Am I right, D?
Yeah, in some cases, some did not put down the gun, as we can see.
Right.
And so
right. He said, as you can see, right.
Some picked up more guns.
Some picked up more. Mm-hmm. Ain't that something?
And drugs.
But the origin, let's let people know, back in the day in the Bronx, like Brooklyn and all that, especially in the Bronx, it was like, hey man, let's stop killing each other back in the, because don't forget, Negroes was always killing other Negroes. That's part of our culture. It ain't nothing to do with the Klan or the white man. No, Negroes was always killing Negroes. So we said, wait a minute, in-house, let's stop this with each other. Let's stop. And that's how rap was born. It was killing the nigga bullshit. It was killing it. So let's get some drums, let the MC do his thing, and let's get down with it.
Yeah, well, all of these things gradually became part of this cultural expression. Like I said, this is an epigenetic experience. We've been doing this for thousands of years. In our time, we're calling it hip hop or rap. That's what we're calling it in our time.
Go ahead.
And we're using a language that I now am very certain that we don't totally understand how it works, but we're using a language that's been imposed on us to express ourselves through this. And I personally think that's one of the problems. Is the use of this language, and because it seems to have incantations or something like that built in it, and we are thinking that we're moving forward, but in fact, as you can see, there has been massive degradation to our cultural motion of improvement for improvement.
So then it goes back to the beginning of my question when I said your take on 50 years of hip hop. This is where we at. So you gave a fantastic answer. Now, let's go back to when you were 13, 14 years old. Let's go back to 1976, 1977. The beginning of you and your record, your albums. Man, talk to me, brother. Mount Vernon, New Rochelle. Did you know you were going to be where you are as the man you are right now? But when you were back in the day being you, what was on your mind back then when you were DST? Learning to be you while you were being you.
Well, again, I grew up in the entertainment environment between, your mom and dad, and my mother and the people around. That this is where we grew up.
Right.
This is how we grew up. So I get my first drum set, I maybe was 4 or 5 years old. And I'm playing drums from very early. So when you don't have a path and there's a path that's laid there,
go ahead.
And it's just there waiting for you to step on the path.
Go ahead.
And you step on it, then you're off to the races. So I'm not I'm not planning anything. I'm just on the path. This is all natural for me.
But
I'm part of what's happening,
I
you
gotta
know.
give you respect, man. See, me, I was born funny, but I'm mentally retarded, and that's how you and I connected. Because I'm not well, and you're not well. But you were 10 times, 20 more focused and serious. I mean, you played and joke, but when it comes to your craft, you don't laugh. Okay?
You
When
know
it,
that rhymed.
I'm hip. When it comes, right? When it comes to your craft, you don't laugh, and you're very. With me, I'm all over the damn place. So you know. But what made you stay? What made, like, when you picked up that album, those records, when you doing those house parties, the block parties, what made you say, this is serious, and it wasn't a joke no more? What time, like, when did you say this can be it for me? This can take me to another level. What was going on with you at that time?
You know, that's interesting that you asked that question, because I never said that. I always saw myself going back to playing drums eventually in, you know, a huge successful band somewhere. And my other side of my brain was, I'm a conceptualist, so I wanted to write stories for films. And so, as you know, I was a filmmaker in my mind.
Yes, you were.
Um,
Yes, you were.
and a conceptualist, but
Yes.
the music is what was physically around me. So I had to go with what was there, you know. Wherever we were, it was about music. You know that. And
Me and this guy was something. I can talk for this guy when I say, when you put a record, a 45, a cassette, or an album in our hand, we go through a trance state. I mean, something. It's like putting in the Holy Grail. When there's pictures of me and this guy holding records, and we're like tranced out. It's something about a 45 or a record, man. But you took it seriously. You know, you went somewhere. I mean, you went and got, you had a record in your hand as a kid, then you went and got a damn record deal. That's the difference.
right, right.
Right.
Well, I mean, listen, man. Just imagine. Well, you don't have to, because you was there. Just imagine, man. You know, we everywhere we go, when it's with the family, that's what it was about.
Right.
So we grew up in it.
And
You
somebody had
know,
to, AD, somebody had to play the music at them house parties too.
right?
Right.
And and sometimes it was us.
It was us, right? That's right.
Right.
Hey,
So,
baby, go play that James Brown for me, baby. Go make me a drink. Go play some Isaac Hayes.
right. And we know the records. We know the names. We know who Isaac Hayes is.
Know the label. The label.
Hugh Muscatella.
Hugh Muscatella. That's a song,
Yeah.
right? That's right.
Put on Miriam Makeba. We would know what that is.
Right.
You know, and like today, yeah, that's not going to happen.
No. And let me tell you, Grand Mixer DXT is from the projects. Okay, Eaton Wall, he's from the Bible. And listen how he talks. Very articulate. See, that's what I'm saying about that hip hop bullshit propaganda, that, yo man, what's up, nigga, all that. That's not rap. That's not, no. Somebody in the ivory tower put that talk among us. Cause Negroes don't talk like that. Black people don't talk like that. That's some made up street bullshit. Yo, nigga, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, nigga, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, bounce that, nigga, yeah. What the hell is that bullshit? And make it normal? And that's why
Well,
we got a problem now.
That's part of the mental illness
Go ahead, brother.
of the environment in us. So, you know, there's a saying that insanity is a perfectly natural adjustment to an unnatural and negative environment.
Go ahead, brother.
And so this is what we're seeing. But it's normalized, so we don't think anything of it. But we are struggling, and through our struggling, we accept it because it's based on what you have assumed financially, your money. So you don't think about the disaster that you're actually walking through.
Go ahead, brother.
Because you got on a brand new pair of Nike sneakers and Air Jordans or what have you. These are the drugs that go into your mental that helps you to get through each day of this insane situation that we are functioning in.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah.
You know, man. Wow, this is a gift. Let's go back to when you were 14, brother. You doing the house parties. When did you know that you were gifted in what you do? Like, when did it hit you that you got something going on within yourself?
Uh, I think, when, well, my shedding ability, as I kept practicing and practicing. Now, and I'm talking about playing drums. At 14, I'm playing drums only, really. And so, when I got chosen to play for the orchestra and the band and the choir in John Philip Sousa, I kind of realized that, okay, I got something going here, because there were other drummers, and and I was the one that was picked to play for the school. And so I realized that all that banging in the house, driving my mom crazy, was amounting to something.
Go ahead.
And so that drive was there. And you remember, I'm the youngest of four, so I had to create my own world, because they were already off and running by the time I pulled up.
Well,
So
even though you were driving your mom crazy, but at the same time, though, your mother wasn't average. Your mother got it. She's also an artist. Your mother was into Miriam McKee, but your mom can sing. She was in
right,
calypso. I mean, a little bit of everything. I mean, your mom is all
right,
that.
right.
Your mom is all that in a bag of chips. So it takes an artist to understand what an artist is. So your mother, even though she was a mom, but she was artistically understanding you.
Well, I do what I do because of my mother.
Right. Me too.
Um,
Me too. Me too.
right. My mother is the one who put this in front of me.
Me too. My mom did too for me. Yep.
Watching her go to vocal coaching and spending time with your mom and
Right.
all the instruments and the drums and the piano in the basement, the Fender Rhodes.
All that.
Remember, this is in our lives
Every
before we
day.
go to junior high school.
That's all. It's all there.
It's all there during our elementary school
Didn't have to
years.
dream it. It's all there, D.
It's all there. The organ
Everything is there.
at Aunt Mary's house.
Yes. She had
Then the organ.
that big church organ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a Hammond.
Yeah. Oh God, that big ass organ in that living room, dude.
Mm-hmm. And so,
Mm.
and this is on the sidebar. I learned that the organ was really a device that would play frequencies that would heal people.
Go ahead, brother.
It affects your nervous system.
Go ahead.
And your guess what? Your what?
Mm.
Your organs.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
And I rest my case on that. Everybody should look into that. That's why in the big churches where they had those giant organs,
Phantom of the Opera organ.
that's what that was originally for.
Dig
to
it.
tune into frequencies for healing.
Right.
The organ.
That doggone right. The keyboards, the piano, man, all that.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Those frequencies.
Man, so okay, so the drums, you got that, but man, scratching a record, how did you come about that and make it an instrument like that?
Well, I have to give credit to other DJs who also participated in the beginning phases of that.
Name them.
That ultimately led to what my innovation is turntablism. And so the DJs who inspired me to want to even be a DJ is DJ Kool Herc and then DJ Smoke. Those are the two main ones. DJ Disco King Mario. And then the second tier.
Name the other one. Hold on, you said Kool Herc and the other one you went by real quick.
Kool Herc, DJ Smoke from the Master Plan Bunch.
You said DJ Slope?
DJ Smokey. Smokey.
Okay, yeah, okay, DJ
It's
Smokey.
Smokey.
Okay.
Right.
Mm.
And I'll come back around to that. And in the Soundview area, it was Disco King Mario. And so those were the DJs for the dancers. When we came up just dancing, those were the guys that we would go to their parties and their jams. I didn't go to Mario's parties that much because I wasn't on that side of the Bronx, but Herc and Smokey, I was always at the PAL in these places. And so then there's the second tier of DJs. And at the top of that list is Grandmaster Flash.
Mm.
And he innovated something called the clock theory,
Mm.
or the quick mix theory.
Mm.
And that was he would spin the record back without picking up the needle and return it to its point of origin from where he wants to cut it in from.
Mm.
And so once Grandmaster Flash was one of the DJs out of the myself and Theodore, who I'm about to get to, who was the second tier of innovation for the hip hop culture DJs. And so then there's Grand Wizard Theodore, who, even though every DJ who DJs on time, on beat or on time, they have to cue records. And the cue records, you have it under the headphones. You don't hear it in the speakers, you hear it in the headphones only. And you rub the record back and forth, like you're going to edit a tape. Any tape editor will tell you, you rub the tape over the heads, and then you get it to the point where you could cut it. So it's the same thing. So cutting records is the same as cutting tape, except you're not splicing the tape. You're just throwing in the record and splicing it between one turntable to the other via mixer. And so Grand Wizard Theodore, his innovation is he decided that it's no longer an accident, because it used to be an accident when you cue the record out into the speakers and you hear that jigga, jigga, jigga. That was an accident at one time. And you would go, oh, mistake. Well, he decided that he's going to do that purposely, and it's no longer a mistake. And so that's his innovation, is scratching or cueing records out loud, and we started calling it scratching. It's actually cueing. And then my innovation on the second tier is to take the idea that you can cue, but think about it as from an improvisational position. So I started thinking, well, there's Miles, there's Ella. And since I grew up in that environment, so I knew how to improvise. I knew how to scat. So I started thinking about it, scratching, scratch that, 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 that. And these are the things that was going through my head. And so I started to apply that.
So you're thinking totally from a musician point of view, correct?
Right, I'm a musician. So I started thinking Ella, a whole bunch of different people,